If you are an ancient like me, yeah, pun intended, you would remember an old sci-fi movie called Stargate, which was released in 1994. Well, to be honest, I actually remember seeing it when I was around 11 or 12, which was around 2002, and then got into the many spin-off TV series that sprouted from it. Anyway, this franchise, like Battlestar Galactica, is heavy on the suspense and drama, as well as the aliens and spaceship elements, which really dragged me into the science fiction genre, and then got me stuck there in space till now. Far longer than the 3 to 4 minutes, if you know what I mean. Wing wing. So here I am humbly presenting the 15 biggest spaceships from Stargate Universe. Let's get to it. At number 15 we have the X-303. Well, the X-303 was the prototype. The actual one was the BC-303 and was humanity's first attempt at building a deep space warship. Think of it as Earth's prototype space battleship. It was called the Prometheus, and it was a mix of human and alien technology, mainly stolen from the Gold. Since it was the first of its kind, it had flaws, but it proved that Earth could build ships that travel deep into space and maybe even faster than light, well, sort of, and then go to space and fight powerful alien enemies. For armament, the X-303 had an array of railguns around the hull, and also missile launchers loaded with enhanced nuclear warheads. 14. The BC-304, better known as the Daedalus-class. It was the next generation of Earth space warships. It fixed all the problems of the Prometheus and added way more firepower and advanced technology. These ships could travel huge distances through hyperspace. It had better shielding, more powerful weapons, and were generally more reliable. Several BC-304s were built, like the Daedalus, the Odyssey, and the Apollo, and they became the backbone of Earth's defense against alien threats in the galaxy. Basically, these were Earth's first truly capable interstellar warships. 13. The Hatak. A Hatak is a large pyramid-shaped spaceship used by the Gold, a powerful alien race that once ruled over much of the Milky Way galaxy. These ships were symbols of their power and control, kind of like flying fortresses, and were commonly used by the top Gold leaders, known as the System Lords. The ship's design is really unique. It had a giant golden pyramid at the center which looked like an Egyptian pyramid, and that pyramid is surrounded by a massive triangular shaped frame that forms the superstructure of the ship. In terms of firepower, it had 60 energy cannons placed all around it, which can be used to fight other ships or even bombard planets from orbit, and carries a fleet of death gliders that act like fighter jets. Number 12. The Destiny. So Destiny is an ancient spaceship built by the super advanced alien race which were called the Ancients, and it was launched from Earth over 50 million years ago. The ship is huge and shaped kind of like a long flat triangle, almost like a sleek space arrow or a dagger. The surface of Destiny is covered in detailed structures and has a bunch of weapon turrets all over it. These include smaller guns meant for shooting down enemy fighters and larger cannons for big ship-to-ship battles. One of the ship's most powerful feature is its main weapon, located on the underside. It is a set of large barrels designed to blast enemy warships or attack targets on a planet from orbit. Number 11. The Asgardian Science Vessel. The Asgardian Science Vessel is a smaller, more peaceful type of spaceship used by the aliens known as the Asgardians from Asgard, an extremely advanced alien race that looks like the classic grey aliens. These ships aren't built for combat, but for research and exploration. They still have powerful shielding, and also can teleport things like themselves, the Asgardians, or equipment over long distances. Even though they're not warships, they are still way ahead of human technology and can properly defend themselves if needed. Then at number 10 we have the Ori warship, which is a massive white-colored spaceship used by the Ori, who are ancient godlike beings with unbelievable power and knowledge. These ships were the main weapons of the Ori used during their invasion of our galaxy, and they were absolutely enormous. The ship looks like a giant oval with a glowing ring in the center, kind of like a Stargate built into the ship's body. It has 2 big engines at the back, and despite its size, it can fly into a planet's atmosphere and land on the surface. What makes these ships really scary is their firepower. On the front is a huge energy weapon that can destroy the most powerful enemy ships like the Hatak in just one shot, and can even punch through the high-tech shielding of Earth's most advanced ships, the Daedalus, which was obviously enhanced by the Asgardians. It also has smaller pulse cannons all over for close combat against smaller crafts like the space fighters. Then at number 9 we have the Bilskirnir-class ship, which was Asgard's version of a cruiser or a battleship, and it is also called a mothership. As with all Asgardian ships, the Bilskirnir had a distinctive hammer shape with wings by the side and a greyish hull. One of the most well-known ships of this class was one that was used by Thor. These ships have advanced energy weapons, nearly impenetrable shielding, and can move incredibly fast using hyperdrives. They are often used as Thor's command ships or to support Asgardian missions all across the galaxy. Number 8. The ONeal-class ship. Well, surprise, surprise, it is called ONeal, a human name. Why? Because it was named by the Asgardians in honor of Jack O'Neill from Stargate SG-1, and it is Asgard's most powerful type of warship built at the peak of its advancements. This class of ship was specifically built to fight a dangerous enemy called the Replicators. It is faster, more heavily armed, and better protected than any other Asgardian ship, even more than a Bilskirnir. It is the kind of ship you bring when you need a win in a major space battle. Number 7. The Stromos. The Stromos was one of these big rescue ships built by an alien race called the Taltons when their home world was about to be destroyed by a cosmic disaster known as the Dark Star. Think of it like a giant sci-fi version of an emergency lifeboat for an entire civilization. The ship was designed as a sleeper ship, which means it carried people in cryogenic sleep, basically freezing them in time to keep them alive for a long journey through space. It also had a strange defense system, and instead of using weapons against invaders or trespassers, it instead puts them to sleep or knocks them unconscious. Then we come back to the gold. Here we have Anubis' mothership, which was a massive powerful ship built by the ascended Anubis. It was far bigger and stronger than any other gold ship at the time and was made using a mix of gold technology and ancient technology, making it way more advanced than the regular Hatak. The mothership's shape was like a huge disc surrounded by spikes sticking out from its edges, and unlike most gold ships, it did not have a pyramid at the center, but instead it had a dome. The ship was loaded with plasma turrets and a big super weapon that when fired upon a Stargate on a planet, all life on that world would be wiped out. Now coming to the 5th spot, we have the Wraith Cruiser, which are smaller escort ships that travel with the massive Hive ships of the Wraith fleet. Think of these like the Wraith version of destroyers or frigates, but not nearly as huge as a Hive ship. They are faster, more agile, and usually serve to support the Hive ship during battles or when it needs protection on a mission. They don't have traditional shielding, but they make up for it with tough hulls that can take a beating and can heal themselves. While they don't have the firepower or troop capacity of a Hive ship, they are still deadly in groups. And so next we come to the Wraith Hive ship, which is the main type of warship used by the Wraith, a scary alien species. These ships are huge, around 13 times longer than Earth's battleship, the Daedalus class. They're basically flying fortresses that carry thousands of Wraith warriors and swarms of small attack ships called darts. Inside of them are these creepy organic cocoons where captured humans are stored because the Wraith feed on human life energy. Even though they're massive, Hive ships can land on planets and then release the warriors inside of them. And what really makes them unique is their living hull. These ships are made of organic material that can heal and grow, so they don't need energy shields like other advanced ships. On the 3rd spot we have the Gatmir Terraformer, which is this massive ship built by an advanced sulfur-based reptilian-like species native to the Milky Way galaxy, which are called the Gatmir. The ship was their last hope to preserve their home and civilization, which was facing destruction by the hands of another more advanced alien race. To prevent their culture from vanishing, they built this giant vessel, which stored all their knowledge and even their DNA and samples of plants and animals from their homeworld. The ship then searched for another world which was habitable and then performed a terraforming-like process so that the Gatmir civilization could be reborn in it. Number 2. The Aurora-class battleship. Here, the Aurora-class battleship was a series of warships created by the Atlantean race. They are amongst the most advanced class of warships ever created. In terms of design, ships of the Aurora-class are long and slender. The hull of the ships appear visually industrial, being lined with arrays of weapon turrets reinforced platings, sensors and other systems. Ships of the class have an impressive arsenal of drone weapons, and as for secondary weaponry, these ships feature at least 16 pulse weapon turrets, which are placed all around the ship at strategic positions. And number 1. The Atlantean city ship. So a city ship is basically a flying city built by an ancient super advanced race called the Ancients, millions of years ago. Imagine something about the size of Manhattan, New York, but in space and able to fly between galaxies with no problem at all. It doesn't look like a typical spaceship at all. Instead, it looks more like a futuristic city with tall towers, skyscrapers and streets, and they are supported by some form of a superstructure. The city has a strong force field shielding to protect it from attacks and the void of space, and it carries thousands of tiny, smart flying weapons called drones that can defend it if needed. It is like a combination of a station, a spaceship, and a full-blown high-tech city all in one. And with that, we come to the end of this video on the 15 biggest ships from the Stargate Universe. Thanks for letting me relive this nostalgia. I really appreciate it. Now, if you like this video, then watch this other one too, and if you want to browse for other sci-fi content, then check out our channel. So subscribe and like for support. Till the next time, take care, boys.